Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy, Tuesday afternoon. Hope you're looking after yourself and whatever you're up to today. Hope you're enjoying it. Bit of a different one, and it's been something that's been requested a couple of times and had been on my mind to do, and it's a bit of a loan watch about the guys that have been out on loan. So we're going to be looking at how they've sort of played this season, the kind of minutes they've played, and just kind of giving you, depending on the situation, what might happen when the season finishes. And I'm going to try and maybe like once a month, just try and keep up to date with how they're doing, to be fair, because I think it's something that's important, because we've got a few guys out on loan who are younger, got a few guys out on loan who are a bit older that we'd probably look to try and move on. And all these things make a huge difference going forward. So we've got 8 guys out on loan. We've got Joe Rodon, Alfie Devine, Sergio Regulon, Troy Parrott, Dane Scarlett, Tanganga Ndombele, Jed Spence and Jaffet Tanganga. So let's jump in, and I'm actually going to start with the guy that was first on that list. He's on my thumbnail with me. A certain Joe Rodon. Now, Joe this season has played a lot of football, and I'm not going to worry about international football for me, to be honest. It's not really relevant. I'm going to talk about their club football. So he's at Leeds at the moment in the Championship. He's played a lot of minutes this season, which is what you want from a loan deal. I mean, we don't really seem to get it enough, if I'm honest. When we look at some of our other loan deals, you'll see soon. But with Joe, he's playing a lot of football at Leeds United at the moment. You know, they're sitting third in the Championship. So, like I explained in the Championship, you know, the 3 to 6 go into a playoffs. If you finish there, the top 2 come up as automatic promoted, and obviously the champions. Joe, like I said, Joe's playing obviously a lot of football for a team that's doing well in the Championship. You know, there's obviously a big chance that you could probably see Leeds come straight back up, if I'm honest. You know, they've got a really good squad, lots of really, really good players in that squad. A lot of them obviously that win the Premier League with them, you know, and they've obviously just dropped down into the league below and doing well. You know, same with your Leicesters. So Joe this season, like I said, playing a lot of football. He's played in 14 different games. He's played over 1,100 minutes this season. You know, no goals or assists, but I mean, he's a centre-half. I'm not expecting goals and assists, unless you are from your centre-halves, which is a bit different. But Leeds fans have really bought into Joe Rodon. I think he does really smash out of the park at the Championship. And I've always thought he could always be a mid-table to lower half of the table centre-half in the Premier League with no issues, if I'm honest. So, you know, we talked about how Joe could be used in a swap deal for Wilfred Gnonto. Obviously, we'll see maybe come January if that's a thing, or even in the summer if that's a thing. But it's just good that he's getting good minutes at Leeds, and I think you'll find that he's going to get his value brought up because he's doing well at a club that is doing well. So good news on Joe Rodon. Let's move on to the second. Oh, he's not my second name on the list. I'm going to move on to Sergio Regulon first. Okay, so Sergio Regulon, obviously, as we very much know, he plays for Manchester United. He's picked up a couple of injuries since being there, but actually, when he has played, he's done very, very well. And Man United fans have actually said he's actually been pretty decent. You know, he's played in 7 different games across competitions like the League Cup, the Champions League and the Premier League. When he has played, he's played good minutes. He's logged over 500 minutes in those 7 games. So he's played some good minutes, played some good competition football. And actually, it's one of those that, look, we're never going to get 20, 25, 30 million out of Sergio Regulon. But it wouldn't shock me if Man United go, he's fairly cheap, 10 mil, he can be a backup left back, it could work. And I can see that being a thing that we could get probably about 10 mil for him. As long as obviously this continues, that he does actually play. I know Luke Shaw's back now, but obviously Luke Shaw has some injury issues. You don't want to be overdoing his workload as soon as he comes back from an injury, because I think he's been out for a little while as well. But yeah, I think all in all, he's done well when he's been there, but obviously he has had that injury, so he's missed a little bit of football whilst being away. I mean, we've seen Lindelof at left back, we've seen Amrabat at left back, we've seen Dallo at left back. I think we even saw Madog at left back at one point for Man United. They were that short in defence, so he definitely hasn't looked out of place. I think that's a fair way to sum up his time so far with Manchester United. Moving on to what I think a very polarising name, and no, I'm not talking about Tanganga Ndombele. I know a lot of you might think that. I'm actually going to talk about Troy Parrott, a guy that we deem to potentially be a guy that comes forward for sort of a Spurs striker role in the future. You know, he's still young. He's still not exactly a old player. He's 21 years old, so he's still plenty of time on his side. But it's kind of one of those that I don't know if he's ever really truly been given a fair chance, but also hit the heights. I think that's fair to be both sides on that fence. Obviously, he went out on loan this summer to Excelsior in the eredivisie. All in all, when you look at his stats on the very face of things, 10 games played, 4 goals, 2 assists, you think, actually, that's not bad. That's all right. It's pretty good. It's this, that, the other. And when you actually look at Excelsior Rotterdam, they don't blow you away with some of the names they have in the squad. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, they've got, world-class players doing this, that, and the other. Not at all. I'm just bringing up where they are in the league. You thought I would have had that done. So give us a sec. Excelsior Rotterdam. Right, here we go. They're sitting 9th in the Eredivisie. So, mid-table team. Not, mid-table to lower half. So, not doing amazingly well, but, could be worse. It could be Ajax. But yeah, looking at the face of things, when you look at it, he's played 10 games, but he's only actually logged 355 minutes. So he's not actually played a ton of football. He's done all right with the minutes that he's had, but at the start of the season, he was actually getting the odd 90-minute. So he's played a lot of very, very less featured minutes, to be honest, off the bench, which is a bit of a shame. But, 10 games, six contributions, that's not bad. That isn't bad. I hope that he starts to get a few more minutes, to be honest. The output looks decent, but I do want to see him, get a bit more of like at least he can get 60, 70, 80 minutes, something like that. Just a few of those to kind of see how he kind of copes with it all. I think the Eredivisie is a really good, solid league for a 21-year-old to go out on loan to. It's still early on. Obviously, we're still sitting in November. You just never know. Maybe come New Year, maybe he starts to, nail down a first team spot. I'd really like to see that, especially just for Troy himself, regardless of Spurs. Moving on to a different striker who is having similar issues in terms of game time, but not having the output, Dane Scarlett. Obviously went on loan to Ipswich in the Championship, and obviously Ipswich this season having a very solid season, to be honest. I was impressed by, how the fact that they did set off in the fact that you've got Southampton, Leicester and Leeds dropping into the league, and they're sitting in second. And they're sitting in second 7 points clear of Leeds in third, so they're doing very, very well. They're actually sandwiched between Leicester at the top, who they're 3 points behind, Leeds, who obviously they're 7 points clear, and actually Southampton, they're 8 points clear. So they're sandwiched between the teams that have just come down. So they're having a very good season, 12 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. So on the face of things, I'm not going to blame Dane Scarlett for not playing, because obviously they're doing very well, but 10 games he's featured in, and he had a game in the League Cup. And he's total 169 minutes. So you're talking, between 11 games, 14 minutes a game, 15 minutes a game? It's not enough. And I personally hope Spurs would actually get him out of Ipswich. Yes, Ipswich are doing well, but we actually need him to play more regular minutes. I'm not saying he has to play 90 minutes every week, but, at least getting, a chance to start, because he's not getting that at Ipswich. And I hope Spurs in January take him out of Ipswich and kind of go, look, you're not playing him. We need him to play. So even if you send him back to League One and just go, look, you're going to get 6 months, just give it your best, just to see what he's got. Because right now, that's not really giving him enough development, So, I'm not really going to talk about Tanguy and Nobile. We know the loans deal's not going well. We talked in a video yesterday about how he's trying to build it back up and get in the good books of the manager. And if you haven't seen it, go back to yesterday and have a little watch, because I'm not talking about it here. All right? You can't make me. Maybe you can, but I doubt it. Right, I'm going to move on actually to one that I'm actually really happy about. Alfie Devine, Port Vale, League One. When we talk about a player, he's played just short of 1,100 minutes this season. So he's played a lot of football across League One, the League Cup and the FA Cup. And, he did have a game for the Premier League. I think it was under 23s, but I'm not really interested in that one, to be honest. Although he did get an assist, which was quite nice. But in terms of your League One, the League Cup, the FA Cup, he's played in 17 games across those competitions. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists. He did have that amazing overhead kick as well for Port Vale. Remember that? That was class, to be fair. It was no Garnacho at the weekend, but it was decent, to be fair. Can I say that Garnacho goal might be one of the best goals I've ever seen. It was talk about hitting the ball so beautifully and so sweetly from an overhead kick. Whew. But yeah, on Alfie, I think he's done really well, and he's shown he can handle League One football, which is nice. There's always that worry when a guy goes on like this, especially when it's maybe his first or second line. Can he handle it? And we're seeing with Dane Scarlett, he's not really playing in the Championship. We're seeing with Troy Parrott, he's not really getting enough minutes in the eredivisie. Alfie at least is getting some decent minutes at the moment, so I'm happy with that. So, long may that continue. I'm not sure if we will see him in the first team squad next season, but potentially a loan deal come the Championship. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think that'd be a good move for him. Let's talk a little bit around Jed Spence, okay? Look, he's played in one game, he's had 9 minutes, which was the last game that's just been. He's had an injury all season. We've just not seen him, to be honest. So I'm not going to talk about it a lot because I hope now that he's starting to get back fit that we're going to start to see maybe Jed getting 20, 25, 30 minutes for a couple of games, getting that match fitness, building up to maybe 60 minutes and so on and so forth, and getting 90 minutes going forward. Because, last time he was in the Championship with Forest, he was obviously, I think he might have been even player of the season, but he was definitely in the team of the season at right back for Forest. So I hope to see that. And obviously, again, it's one of those things with Joe Rodon, they're doing well defensively at Leeds. If we can add Jed Spence into that mix, that builds Jed Spence's value up. And will we see him at Spurs? Maybe. I think he defensively can actually be very good. Will we see it enough? I don't know. But offensively, he has the ability to create. And I think that's the thing that I wonder if Ange sees in him. I don't know. I think Ange saw Emerson as a safe pair of hands. He's not going to blow your socks off. He's not going to lose you games, but he's not going to wow you. I think with Jed Spence, he has the ability to wow you, but still has that potential to make mistakes. I think that's maybe what Ange saw. I don't know. And then I want to sign off with Japhet Tanganga because, like Jed Spence, he's been injured all season. He's not played a game of football for Augsburg. He's played no minutes, and that's a worry. That is a worry because the guy that we sent out on loan with an option to buy, I'm hoping he gets minutes because I don't know if I ever see a future at Spurs for Japhet Tanganga. Same with Jed Spence, to be fair. Joe Rodon, Tanguy Ndombele, Troy Parrott, even Dane Scarlett. Do you see it there? I don't know. We want to give him time, and I'm all for giving him time. Those two are young. Parrott and Scarlett are young. I'm giving them time. You could give time to Jed Spence. We haven't really seen it. With Joe Rodon, we've seen it. He doesn't blow our socks off. But I think, Joe's going to get value. Let's see what happens in Ndombele. I hope Tanganga gets some minutes because I think in the German league he'll do well. Jed, I think, will do fine in the Championship, and I think he will rebuild his name. We'll see what happens in the summer following. Alfie Devine, let's just keep going because I think he's smashing it. He's doing very well. Really happy with his game time and progression. Regulon, just keep doing what you're doing because I think you're building up your value for Man United. You're doing well. We'll be able to sell him on for 7.5, 10 million, which I think will just help us next summer just to keep adding in that pot, just to keep building up and up and up. And we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy it. It's a bit of a different one, I know. It's not, we're signing Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, but it's a bit different. It's a bit more fun. Hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below your thoughts, feeling about the boys out on loan. You can comment as many times as you want about it. If you want to do individual comments for each individual player, let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, in the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.